Hey, so this is gonna be part 2. Do you have any like Karens in the store? Like, if you have a nice definition of Karens, leave them down below in the comments. But what I read, they're just people that they want to get what they want and stuff. And like, I've come off, that should have come off and all that stuff. And then I know the discounts and stuff. And then they were like, if I don't know, I'll go ask a manager. And then they would know. Manager or supervisor in the store. And then they would know. And if they say no and they get all mad. Yeah. So, and then produce is easy. Like, checking out. Oh, no, it's not. Checking out produce is not easy. I think checking out produce is the most difficult thing with being a checker or a cashier at the grocery store. Here's why. So things with barcodes are fantastic. Because you just scan them right through and they go through. Some produce doesn't have barcodes, and then there's this thing at our grocery store and like probably other grocery stores too that has a special name. It's like, hey, the more produce you scan, just go off and scan it or scan the barcode on this laminated piece of paper. Obviously, if you do that, that's good. But if you type in the number, does automatically type in the number, is not. That lowers your percentage. Oh my goodness gracious. With the produce, I'm like, come on. So when I first started working there, I was at like an 85% out of 100, which I thought was good. 85 out of 100. But the store wanted us, the cashiers, to be at 90% or above with they're called GS1 scans. I don't know what that stands for, but they're called GS1 scans. They're like, oh my gosh, you have to be above 90, like, 90%. Okay, so then I got myself above 90%. So I was at 94% for a long time. And then they decided to change it. It's like, you have to be above 95%. The cashiers they were like the cashiers to be above 95%. I mean, oh my goodness. So I worked so hard to get above 95%, and now I'm at 96%, which is great. I did ask one of the managers, it's like, some produce doesn't have barcodes at all. And I'm like, would that lower your percentage if you look them up or something? No, it won't. No, they won't. Like, thanks. Because I know, for an example, potatoes. Like, the small potatoes, like the round potatoes, or the big potatoes, like they're called russet potatoes, like the big, yeah. So potatoes, broccoli, some stuff that does not have barcodes at all, even if you tried. Oh my goodness. Those, if you look up, they're fine. They won't count against your percentage, but then the sheet we have, it's like, they have tomatoes on it, they have the onions, they have, like, some onions have, produce. It's just very, 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 very annoying. The main two produce stuff, I guess, assumptions that I have. Let me think. Oh, I have another one. You know where everything is in the store? Absolutely not. Because with cashiers, is if you're like, I applied to be a cashier in this, so I'm at the front of the store. Obviously, I'm in the front of the store all the time. I mean, I know where particular sections are, but if someone asks me something, it's like, do you know what this is? Do you have this? I'm like, luckily, I know people who've been there longer than I have. So I was like, hey, do you know what this is? And then they'll do it. But I'm like, yes, I don't know what everything is. I'm not that smart. I love I love with grocery stores especially, there's always someone, like, I'm pretty low on the list of people, like, I'm not higher up, like, managers, supervisors, and who's people who've been there forever. So I'm, like, glad that I can, like, glad I'm not the smartest person in the grocery store, because that's stressful. Yeah. So, I do not know what everything is. Okay, so this isn't an assumption, but someone asked me, what's your favorite part about working in the grocery store? I mean, I guess I like the people, like the employees. I like the employees I know. I like working with them. Yes, they're favorite parts. I mean, I just find working really, really stressful overall, just because it's a stressful job, especially. That's my favorite part would be, like, talking to people on a I mean, I'm one of those type of people, like, I'm not a complete, I would call myself an introvert, but I'm not a completely introverted person, but I'm also not a completely extroverted person, like, especially these days with COVID and all that stuff. I'm like trying to seek social interactions outside of work and stuff like that. Like, even if it's just like texting, I'll text someone I'm like, it's kind of driving this COVID thing. This COVID stuff is driving me nuts, just because of, like, we're still at a phase where things are still closed. Some things are still there's obviously things that'll open and all that stuff. It's very, very hard to hang out with people outside of a work environment, especially with friends and stuff. I'm like, I still love seeing my friends and all that stuff, but you don't see your friends anymore at all, and I know the person who asked this question too, and I'm like, it's very difficult to hang out with people outside of a work environment if you're working. If you're not working, it's very, like, in my opinion, if you're not working, and, like, I know people who are going to school right now, and yeah. And then I know people who probably aren't working, but it's driving them nuts staying at home because nothing is open. But again, every different state has different rules and when things can start opening up and stuff. I don't want to get into that, but yeah. I'm really I'm trying so hard to seek social interaction in a safe way. Which I love about YouTube too. I'm trying to seek social interaction, which I love about YouTube, because I can watch people's videos. Usually, if they're a smaller YouTuber or just people just starting out their channels, famous YouTubers, whatever, or people known, I'll leave a comment down below saying, hey, I enjoyed your video, blah, 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 and, like, those type of things. So I'm, like, very, like, this is where I got probably most of my subscribers, because, I don't know, there's a lot of people I know, like, personally, that aren't subscribed to my channel, but they watch my YouTube videos, like grandparents, friends, and stuff. But then there's the other people who subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's where I got most of my assumptions from, with people who also have their own YouTube channels, but obviously I don't know them personally, but I guess, I enjoy watching their videos. I just like watching. I don't even know what this video turned into, but yeah, I just like, that's where I was going. That's where it goes on. I was thinking, hold on. So I changed spots, but I enjoy watching other people's YouTube channels just because I find them good, and I like getting ideas from other people. Yeah, so, and that out there, since I have no more assumptions left in this video. I think if only there's like 3 maybe assumptions in this really long video. I like to talk sometimes. That's a shocker to people, like, people I know. I mean, there's things like, this is what I also love about YouTube is I can film the videos on my own time. Mainly it's just me. And I'm like, I like to talk about something. Like, I've seen assumption videos that they just go off assumption after assumption after assumption, and then I'm like, I explain my answers to my assumptions, which I like to do. I like to like send particular videos to friends that I know that I probably don't. That's my part 2. Very long part 2, but that's my part 2 with like